These are papers too.
In this episode, we'll be talking about using the wrong techniques and how no matter how much you try, how hard you force it, etc., it's not going to work and you end up stuck. Using the right techniques and being consistent about what you do is very important to go quickly.
Mistake number 9. Inconsistency.
Undies, nappy. Undies, nappy. It's fun to mix it up a bit.
Consistency is the key to successful toilet training. I know myself, I was very inconsistent with regards to when I first started toilet training my first child, and that then gave my inconsistency as well. And that inconsistent approach basically ends up in toilet refusal in a lot of cases. Consistency is required, and in order to achieve that, you need a game plan. It's goal setting 101. And your game plan can be based on your particular situation. It might be, I'm going on holidays, my child doesn't like change, I'll start when I get back. Or your game plan might be, I'm going on holidays, it's going to be easy for them to run around on the beach without clothes on, I'll have my partner there to help, I'm going to start toilet training on holidays. Whatever your game plan is, it is. If you have a younger child, for instance, starting at around 14 months, your game plan is going to be slightly different to starting a 24-month-old or, again, a baby. So you need to work out what your game plan is, and whatever it is, it's your game plan. But what it will allow you to do is to maintain that consistency throughout. To give you an idea as well, when it comes to establishing a game plan, use a system that's already out there. Use a system that already works. That's what I used and made a big difference to the whole process. Because life keeps happening, and so when things get thrown at you like diarrhea, lack of sleep, sickness, a new bub, all those sorts of things that as life keeps happening, then if you're already in a set system that works, then it won't stop you or slow you down. You can keep proceeding and it'll just make your life so much easier. Use the tools that work. It's hard enough to raise children as it is. Another example with regards to where inconsistency plays a big part in stopping toilet training is going from nappy to underpants, back to nappy again. When we start toilet training, we need to lose that nappy, and it needs to stay off during waking hours to start the process. So that is one of the major challenges that parents have, putting the nappy back on. It just gives your child mixed signals and makes us lazier as well as them. So keep it as consistent as possible. Once you lose the nappy, keep it gone.
Mistake number 10. Using poor toilet training. Methods that just don't work.
Hey Tracy, if you let me sing my song again, I'll give you this nappy.
Bribery, one of the poor toilet training methods that do not work. There's two aspects I'll cover with regards to that. The first one is bribery. This simply does not work. Your child has full control if you are using this technique. I cringe every time I hear a parent say, if you do this, I'll give you this. Your child is in control. Instead, what you need to do is set the boundaries right from the beginning so they know what the situation is and what to expect. By doing this, it makes a big difference to who's in control. You don't want to be racing after your child saying, "Wait for me, I'm your leader," because that's what's happening with bribery. So take back that control, set the boundaries from the beginning, and give them those sorts of consequences with regards to this is the situation. When we do this, this is the result you will achieve, this is the reward you will get, etc. If you don't do this, this is the consequence. That will work each time. And the second one is force. I cringe at the thought of the situation, and I've heard it happen before, of parents holding their child down, kicking and screaming on the potty or the toilet. The essence of what we need to achieve in any goal setting situation is leading a horse to water, not dragging it. So in this particular situation, force never works. And the other alternative to that is make it fun. Give your child a carrot, something to reach out for, to refocus, make it fun, to give them a reason to go rather than forcing them to go. This is even more applicable by knowing your child's personality. Again, in particular with a strong-willed child, anytime you apply any form of assertiveness with their particular personality, you'll always get a no or a tantrum or something like that anyway. So go back to knowing your child and giving them choices, and that will make a big difference to the process. So make it fun. Know what fun means for your child in particular based on their personality, and that makes the biggest difference. I am so excited about our next segment. I had the privilege to interview Anna Christie. She's the author of Toilet Training Infants and Children in Australia. And for 7 years now, what I have been seeing through pottytraining.com.au, talking to thousands of parents, working with childcare centres, we now have research that finally backs this up. It's the largest survey they've done on toilet training in Australia. And as I said, it's just so exciting that everything that came out of the research is everything that I'm teaching parents and wanting to get across to help you know the best way to go about toilet training. Anna Christie talks about the window of opportunity, and this is the window that allows you to know when's the best time to start toilet training to get the best results and to avoid the epidemic that's sweeping Australia, the poo challenge. So this is just a small segment of quite a large interview that we did. We spoke for quite a while and it was very informative. So we're going to be utilising this throughout our episodes, so stay tuned. So sit back and watch and take note of everything that Anna's saying. It's the facts that's coming out here in Australia. Welcome, Anna Christie. Thank you so much for joining us today and discussing toilet training.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm really interested in the work you're doing.
Now, in 2010, you conducted a research project titled Toilet Training Infants and Children in Australia. Could you please give us an overview of that report that you did?
This is an original report. It's the first time in Australia that anyone has looked at toilet training behaviours to this extent in Australia. I was looking at it from the environmental, social and the health impacts of late toilet training. By late toilet training, I was just seeking to establish what is the current age that people are toilet training their children, and I mean when do they commence, when do they finish, and has this changed in the last generation? My research confirmed that both the commencement and the completion of toilet training in Australia has now been delayed in the region of a year to a year and a half, more than what it was a generation ago. And what we now see is that the later you leave it to start toilet training children, you miss what we call the window of opportunity. And that window of opportunity is a window within which, if you begin the toilet training, you will have a shorter toilet training and you will have less problems in toilet training. If you miss the window of opportunity, which is said to commence from about 18 months, depending on which of the experts you look at, you know, from around 18 months to perhaps 22 months are the best, or let's say 1.5 to 2 years is the window. You will have more extended, you will have the chance of a more extended toilet training. You will have a much higher possibility that the child will have dysfunctional behaviours, and those dysfunctional behaviours include hiding while pooing, refusing to use the potty, and pooing in pants, and withholding, sometimes for days, withholding poos. Once the child enters the terrible twos zone, then they discover the word no. And then they start to use a number of different things as ways of enforcing their individuality against their parent. And any parent knows what it's like. And it could be, anything could become the source of the conflict. Not eating a certain food, but in this case we know that toilet training can certainly be a fantastic tool that the child can use in its quest to exert its individuality.
Absolutely.
Well, I think your work is definitely got a role to play, because word of mouth is a very strong influence. When mums see the success that other people are having, they'll go, I want that too. You know, I don't want to have a child in nappies at 3 years of age. I really would like to see young mums learn that it is possible to throw away the nappies at a younger age than what is currently believed. And I think that it would be a wonderful thing for the children to be given that opportunity to be toilet trained, because I really believe that most children are happy to be toilet trained, and because children's natural desire is to have control over their body. They want to have control. So why would they not want to have control over their continence? I think it is actually, you're using the child's own natural inclination by allowing them to be toilet trained at a younger age.